In October 2018, police arrived at a house in Barrett, Wisconsin after a call was made from there by a female voice, reporting a man was requesting to be let inside the house. Upon arriving, they found two adults, James and Denise Kloss, shot dead. The door had been forced open and nothing had been stolen. However, their 13-year-old daughter, Jamie Kloss, was nowhere to be found. The case made national news. People speculated about kidnapping, human trafficking, or a personal motive. For nearly 3 months, there were no major leads, and the hype around the case died down. However, in January 2019, Jamie managed to escape from a house where she had been held captive. Her kidnapper was Jake Patterson, a 21-year-old who had randomly chosen her after seeing her get off a school bus. He murdered her parents to abduct her and kept her hidden in a remote cabin for 88 days. Patterson was arrested the same day Jamie escaped and later sentenced to life in prison. As said before, that story got a lot of attention when it happened, but by the time Jamie escaped, the media had mostly moved on. And that's a common pattern. Some mystery cases that became popular do get solved, but after the initial coverage fades, most people never hear the ending. So today, let's dive into some solved mysteries that were forgotten. In February of 1957, a cardboard box was found abandoned in a wooded area of Philadelphia. Inside was the body of a young boy, naked, bruised, and wrapped in a plaid blanket. He was estimated to be between 3 and 7 years old. His hair had been freshly cut, his body was malnourished, and he had several small scars, including surgical ones, on his ankle and groin. There were signs he'd possibly been bathed shortly before his death. Authorities launched a massive campaign to identify him, distributing flyers, checking missing child reports across the country, and even displaying his photo next to mannequins in stores, but no one came forward. No missing persons matched. He was buried as America's unknown child. For decades, the case remained cold but not forgotten. Over 400 identities were rolled out over the years. Theories ranged from abuse in a foster home to a secretive adoption gone wrong. Then, in 2022, investigators used forensic genealogy to extract usable DNA from a single strand of the boy's hair. With the help of public databases, they traced his family tree. His name was Joseph Augustus Zarelli, born in 1953. He was just 4 years old. His parents have not been publicly named, but he has living relatives in the area. However, while this case can be considered solved because of the identity of the child being found, the circumstances of his death are still under investigation. In 1986, 29-year-old Sherry Rasmussen was found murdered in the Los Angeles apartment she shared with her husband, John. The scene showed signs of a violent struggle, broken glass, bruises, and a bite mark on her arm. She had been shot 3 times. Police believed it was a burglary gone wrong, but Sherry's family had a different theory. They suspected Stephanie Lazarus, a Los Angeles police officer, and John's ex-girlfriend. Sherry had told her family that Stephanie had been harassing her. Once, she even showed up uninvited to their home, but despite the warnings, Lazarus was never seriously investigated. Instead, the case was classified as a burglary and closed. Lazarus went on with her career at the LAPD. For over 20 years, she rose through the ranks, completely untouched by suspicion. Then, in 2004, detectives revisited the cold case. DNA from the bite mark on Sherry's arm, which had never been tested, that revealed something new. The killer was a female. In secret, investigators followed Lazarus. They retrieved a cup she had thrown away, tested it, and it was a match. In 2009, Stephanie Lazarus was arrested. At trial, prosecutors argued she had killed Sherry out of jealousy. She was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to 27 years to life in prison. Now, as a final reflection, these cases show that sometimes answers come long after the public's attention fades. These were once front page headlines, but many people never got to hear how they ended. I'm going to try to upload more cases like these in the next coming weeks, so in case that you would like to see some of that, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.